Go on to the next one. We've got negative 24 is equal to 4n plus 4n. Now notice how these two have n's. So the first thing we need to do is we need to combine like terms. So we don't say 4n plus 4n, we combine them and say 8n. So now that we have it this way, there's my n that we need to isolate or get by itself. This 8 is keeping it from being by itself and it's being multiplied. So we want to do the inverse, which is divide by 8. This gives us 1. And negative 24 divided by 8, oops, will give us negative 3. All right, let's go ahead and do the next one. Put our line down the middle of the equal sign. Notice how we have a parenthesis, so we always do that first. Negative 3 times 1 is negative 3, and then negative 3 times 4a is negative 12a. Let's look at our variable. We want to get rid of anything that's being added or subtracted first, which is that negative 3. So we want to do the opposite, which is add 3. This cancels. We end up with negative 12a is equal to 36. Then with this a, we want to get rid of that negative 12. So the opposite of multiplying by negative 12, we divide by negative 12. This gives us 1, and a is equal to negative 3. Let's look at this next one. We have negative 1 plus 8v equals 2 plus 8v. So notice how we have variables on both sides. On these other ones, we only had the a, or I mean the variable on one side. So our goal here for us to solve is to get all the variables on one side. So let's go ahead and take this v, 8v, and put it on the other side by subtracting it. This gives us 0. We have 2 left on this side, negative 1, and this also gives us 0. Notice how whatever we have left is negative 1 is equal to 2, but that's not true. This is a false statement. And because it's false, that means this has no solution. Okay, let's go ahead and do one where it has infinitely many solutions. Let's say we have 2x plus 3 is equal to this. So we want to do the parentheses first. It's 2 times x, and then we will go 2 times 3, which gives us a positive 6. If we bring down that other 2x plus 6, because there's nothing we can do about it as far as simplifying it, and then we end up with the exact same on both sides on one step, that means we have infinite solutions. So make sure you know the difference. When it's a false solution, a false result at the end, you have no solution. When they're exactly the same, you have infinite solutions. And then our last example. We're going to go ahead and put our line down the equal sign. If we look at this side, really there's nothing we can do as far as combining like terms or distributive property. But if we look at this side of the equation, we can multiply, which means, well, we can distribute, which means we multiply 8 times 5x, that gives us 40x, and then 8 times 8, which gives us a positive 64. And then we bring down that positive 8x. All right, so if you look at this side again, we have 40x and 8x that we can combine. And remember, we don't want to say 40x plus 8x, we want to combine them. And together we have 48x plus 64. Since we can't combine or simplify any further on the right side, then we go ahead and bring down the left side again. So we want to move all of the x's to one side. We're going to subtract 8x. So this is 24. 48x minus 8 is 40x plus 64. Then, because we already have all our x's on one side, we want to put all our numbers on the other side. So we want to subtract 64, and we get 40x equals negative 40. And then we divide by 40. And this gives us 1x. And negative 40 divided by positive 40 is negative 1. Or we can say x is equal to negative 1. All right, hopefully that helps you guys. Have fun.